Archer for West Ham Fan TV, live and uncut. Evening to everyone that's waiting in the chat, everyone that's watching so far. Thank you very much for joining us. I thought I'd start on a bit of a positive note today, Ryan, because we got a little bit of criticism the other day.
Yeah, I think people took the title of the video a bit too serious. I think they thought that we wanted Pellegrini out. I mean, people were judging us straight away before they even watched the video. I mean, so maybe we should be a little bit careful with the titles in future.
Of course, yeah. Well, the title of this video, mate, is Manuel Lanzini, of course. Looks like he's going to sign a new deal. How big's that for the club?
Yeah, massive. I was just reading a story about it. Apparently, he wants 120 grand a week. Is he worth that?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because in ability, yes. In sort of injury proneness, probably not. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I suppose we can look at it like this. I mean, we paid Andy Carroll a lot of money for how many years? Lanzini is one of our best players when he's on top form. So if they want him that much, reward him, get him tied down. If it's a 5-year deal or 3-year deal, whatever it is. He said he's happy at the club. He's been here for 5 years now. He's loving life at West Ham. It feels like a family. And yeah, let's hope that they can get this deal done in the next few days.
Didn't he take the club to court? Over an extension. Yeah, over an extension. 100 grand a week plus bonuses, says Darren Clarkson. Inability, I'll be honest, he's one of our best players, to be honest. The ability to run with the ball. We see it on Saturday when he's on top form. You know, he can make things happen. Great ball for Hernandez on Saturday. Probably one of the few players in our team that could actually play a ball like that. And when he gets the ball, he runs and he's exciting.
Also, it's a great ball for Snodgrass as well when he created that chance.
Yeah,
when he ran like 60 yards with the ball. So, look, we know what Lanzini's about. On his day, he's probably one of our best players. So, a fully fit Lanzini deserves the new contract and deserves the money.
Absolutely. But he's staying fully fit. I mean, could there be a case to offer him sort of I wouldn't say pay as you play, but a sort of a basic salary plus appearance bonuses and to sort of, what's the word? Make sure he's staying as fit as he can.
The thing is, you'll probably find that he's going to be in his contract, something like that, a clause. They've hopefully learnt their lessons from like Andy Carroll's situation. So, I mean, Lanzini was never really injury prone, was he? He picked up a bad ligament injury, which will damage any player. You know, it'll keep him out for a long term. So hopefully now he's back. He looks like the old Lanzini.
And he's back in the Argentina squad, of course.
Yeah, which is last time that happened. That's when he picked up the injury. So it's one of them ones. I hate seeing our players called up for international football. I hate it, especially your better players, because you always feel like they're gonna. I mean, ever since the Dean Ashton situation, I always get a bit nervous when our players get called up now.
It's one of them ones where I sort of like it and I don't like it at the same time.
You know what I mean? Yeah. When they're getting called up for their country, they know they're doing something right at West Ham. You know, they're playing well, and Argentina obviously is a great national team, so he's obviously been recognised for his performances.
DB, on his day, like a lot of our fair players, he needs to produce more often than now and stay fit. Great player, though, on his day. Yeah, that seems to be like a lot of our players, isn't it, on his day?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. On his day, he is one of our best players. And if you can get him Fornals, Anderson, you know, if you can get them three playing together and linking up, then we're going to create chances for Haller or Antonio or whoever's up front.
Talking about Haller. Him, who's the other two? Noble and Anderson, all back Saturday.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, when I see that earlier, I was thinking the title of our video last week was Injury Crisis versus Brighton, and it's like this week, it's the three amigos are back, and Troy Deeney's out for Watford now for the next few weeks, which is better news for us.
He's had a small operation, isn't he? Always a thorn in our side, a good player, Troy Deeney. Could fall in our hands. I'll say it quietly.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, it's one of them ones, isn't it? Look, Watford have still got some great players. You know, they've got some Delafeu, who can tear us apart. So it's going to be an interesting game, but it's probably going to be Pellegrini's on Saturday. You'll see strongest 11 because I think it's only Winston Reid who's injured. So some players are going to be missing out on the match day squad.
Dennis Wall says, do you think he's better deeper in midfield or more attacking or third option on the wing? I'm sure he's talking about Lanzini there.
I wouldn't. Probably the more attacking and on the wing option would be better for Lanzini. I
don't think him play well in the deep role though.
Yeah, he can do it, but a player like Lanzini, the way he played against Brighton the other day, he looks like he's got his mojo back and he wants to get his head down and run at players and take people on. So, but any three of them positions he could play. He's that good.
Mark Noble, of course, returns against Watford. Huge miss for us, I think, Ryan and Elhurst too. This could be our third captain in 3 games.
Yeah, third captain, but it's our proper captain. It's our captain back. He's been a massive loss in the first couple of games. I'm not saying that he would have changed the Man City game or even the Brighton game, but you know what you get with Mark Noble. And
organisation?
You get organisation. You get a leader on the pitch. You get someone not scared to put in a tackle. You get someone not scared to shout at his teammates and tell them what they're doing wrong. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having him back. Whether he goes straight in the starting lineup is another question, but if he's fit, then I think he has to.
Will HC says, who do you think should be our centre-backs for the Watford game?
Me personally, I'll just stick to Balbuena and Diop. I know Ogbonna was there last week, but I think Balbuena and Diop's our best centre-back pairing. So you can't keep chopping and changing every week. Just stick with it, as we said.
Alfie says Halley and Ayeti should start up top together. They can both hold the ball up well. I think that'd be very harsh on Hernandez, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one because if Haller comes back in, then Hernandez could be dropped. But then again, he could change it up and play them 2 up front, which the rumours are today that he is going to do. With Ayeti, someone said this to me last night about him. I think he's going to get his chance in the Cup next week against Newport.
Yeah.
And it's up to him. If he goes out there, plays well, gets himself a goal or 2, then it gives Pellegrini a headache, doesn't it? It gives him, like, should he be playing in the first team? Should he get a chance in the first team in the Premier League?
Andy Walsh says, does Noble start? I think you've already answered that one, really.
Yeah. For me, look, if he's fully fit, then yeah, he does start. We've missed him. Declan Rice has been left open in the first 2 games. No one really backing him up in there, so he needs his little Noble next to him to stick his foot in.
DB says, big game for Pellegrini on Saturday. I think, lads, seems a lot of people are a bit fed up with his team selections and lack of creativity. Following up on a video on Saturday, Monday, sorry. It's Thursday today, isn't it? On Monday, after we spoke about whether Pellegrini should be sacked. Of course, we don't want him to be sacked. I mean, we said that in the last video, and I'll reiterate it again now. He's had 2 games. He's rebuilding a team. But his team selections are a little bit frustrating, right? And I can understand why. The people that are calling for it are the normal people that sort of jump the gun on these sort of things. But his team selections are a bit baffling at times. Yeah,
I mean, when we turn up to the game at Brighton on Saturday, I mean, Robert Snodgrass played really well, but I was a bit baffled that he was starting. Antonio was dropped. Where was Balbuena? I thought too many changes in the space of a week. I know some of them were forced, obviously, because of Anderson and Haller, but the one at the back really baffled me. But yeah, I mean, as you said, we don't want Pellegrini sacked. We want him to do well. We want him to be here for the next few years. But that's football, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, I've bought into the Pellegrini project. Since the very start. He's a big name manager, come with a big reputation. Was out in China in the wilderness. We've gone and picked him up from there, paid him a lot of money. And I won't keep on going about it because we spoke about it in quite length on Monday. But to have him sacked after just 2 games of a season, it's ridiculous to me. But he needs to, he needs to learn. I don't know whether he's just, he's an old man now. Is it a case of a leopard don't change its spots, or is it a change of, you can teach an old dog new tricks?
Yeah, I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see on Saturday that we're probably going to have our strongest 11 out available to us. That Pellegrini is going to be as close. There might be maybe Haller might miss out. He might start on the bench. He might go with Hernandez after he scored last week. Haller obviously just coming back from injury. But look, if they're fit, chuck them straight in.
Hammer fan 21 has donated £1.99, and he said score prediction for Saturday. Thank you so much for donating that, mate. It really does help us with the channel. So I suppose answer him. Score prediction for Saturday. I'm gonna say we win, but I'm not gonna say by how many, because I feel like everything's playing into our hands. And that's when we can be our most dangerous, if you know what I mean. Like that's the danger with West Ham. You always think, yeah, right, we're going to do it this week, and that's when we sort of seem to slip up. So that's a big part of Pellegrini's sort of dossier, I think, is to see a little bit more consistency with games that we should have a chance of winning.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go for a West Ham win. I think we get our first win of the season. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win. I fancy us on Saturday, and I think you'll see Sebastian Haller get his first goal for the club.
Yeah, I agree. I think he will
in the Premier League.
In the Premier League, yeah. I think a lot of people saying like 2-1, 2-2. Someone said win by 5, Haller hat trick. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? You've seen the likes of Timu Pukki do it at Norwich, who we face next week, of course. But we'd like someone like that at West Ham, wouldn't we? Someone to sort of hit the ground running.
It's important to get that first win of the season as well, because it takes a bit of pressure off the team. And like I said, if you win on Saturday and you beat Norwich next week, that's 7 points out of 12 as you go into the international break. It'll probably sit you around maybe top 10, maybe 8th. And it's something to build on when you come back after the international break. So it's important that we get these first 3 points on the table. And I fancy us on Saturday. I really do.
Yeah, so do I. In terms of, this is a ridiculous thing to be talking about at this time of the year, mate, but transfers. There's still news about Ogbonna possibly moving on. Would you welcome that?
What, now or in January?
Now. The thing's still open for Europe.
No, I wouldn't get rid of him now. Maybe in January, but I just think that at the moment, with Winston Reid being injured, you can't put too much pressure on Cardoza, is it? He'll be the only sort of backup choice if Balbuena and Diop pick up an injury. And you've also got Declan Rice as well that can play there. So I'll be surprised if they do let Ogbonna go.
I'm not opposed to him going, but I think it's a little bit stupid to let him go now, if that makes sense, when you can't replace him.
Yeah, if it was in January, then yeah, I'd say let him go and we can bring someone else in. But at the moment, I mean, we've got the young Portuguese kid, Cardoza, and I mean, that's it, really. Winston Reid's still injured.
I'm not like totally opposed to Ogbonna, though, on his day. You know what I mean? Sometimes he plays well, Ogbonna, and he's played for us for a good few years now. You know what I mean? And like Liam Bishop says, look, I don't mind Ogbonna. He's been a good servant. Yeah, I've never been totally against Ogbonna. I think he's give good years to the club, to be honest.
Yeah, I do as well.
I think he deserves a little bit more respect than he actually gets.
Yeah, if he was to go, he'd go with good wishes. You know what I mean? I'd wish him well if he did leave the club. I mean, he when he first signed for the club and he first come in, he was a great defender. He started off a bit slow, but once he got settled into that back four, I'll never forget his winner against Liverpool in the FA Cup. I'll never forget that moment.
Contact Light says he can also play left back, which could be a massive problem for us. As you say, Relaxin says, hello, mate. Nice cat.
Hello, mate.
Ogbonna is too hot and cold. He has good games and bad games, says Amir Mandalia. But he can be a liability. I've never slagged him off. He's worked hard for the club. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. He has worked hard and he's never really moaned, has he? But yeah, I definitely wouldn't let him go now. Not at this stage of the season.
Sticking to transfers, mate, which, as I said, looks absolutely ridiculous to be talking about that at this time of the year. We're in for a centre defensive midfielder, it looks like. on a free transfer. I know you haven't seen this. I'm trying to get up his name now. I can't. Oh, here we go.
Someone's just donated a tenner.
Oh, thank you so much. Save your money and go and check our store out. That's what I would say. West Ham and Leeds are ready to sign Serbian international. Nemanja Radoja is keen to move on England. Leeds, I think Brighton was in for him as well. Centre defensive midfielder, somewhere where we've looked to be lacking. Do you think there's a bit of a...
Sorry, mate, I was just looking at the Ashes result then.
That's all right. What is it?
174 for 8, Australia.
Excellent. Already bought a shirt,
my cousin on form today, Joffrey Archer.
Your cousin? Oh yeah, of course he is. Radoja, is it a bit of a fear of him becoming like another Carlos Sanchez, someone that we could really do without, just a waste of a squad space?
I'll be honest with you, mate. I've never heard of him until you just said his name. I've never heard of him. What club does he play for? Where does he come from?
He hasn't got a club, I don't think.
Oh well, so it's a free trade. It's someone that we could bring in now. Then,
yeah, it's something that we're looking at doing now.
If it's someone to come in as a squad player, I mean, I don't really know much about him, so I suppose the scouts would have been looking at him and obviously Pellegrini. So if it's someone they know and they want in, then yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, what is he? Young, old?
26.
No, so he's young then. I think you're right. It'd probably be another Carlos Sanchez situation, but I don't think you can get any worse than Carlos Sanchez.
Hey guys, I totally agree. If we want to challenge something, we need to get rid of these headless chickies at the back like Masuaku or Bono and Fredericks. By the way, sorry for the shirt thing. Oh no, that's no problem, mate. We was just a bit concerned about some information that got leaked. Slap down on the wrist. That's who deserves the slapping on the wrist. It's not your fault, mate. Matt Powell says, hey, Nicky, you're going to buy Ryan a wrestling mask from Mexico? I think he's got one from the last time we went.
I have. We was only talking about that earlier, funny enough. I've still got it. It's in the Mexican colours.
Sean Fennell talking about Radoja. Is Celta Vigo, he's better than Sanchez.
Oh, well, there you go then. So they must know him then. If he's from Celta Vigo, is he? He's played for Celta Vigo?
Yes.
So, yeah, they must know him from their Spanish days when they managed out there. So, yeah, like I said, I don't really know much about it. I'll go on YouTube after and look him up. He'll probably look world class.
Jason Mortimer, following up on what we were talking about Monday. All right, boys, what do you think? Me mates think I'm mad, but I'll get rid of Pellegrini and get in Eddie Howe. Keep up the good work. I've already said, Jason, I think he needs a little bit of time just to show. You know what I mean? Like it won't be long. Football's like that. If he keeps on getting bad results,
I'm a big fan of Eddie Howe's. I'd love to see Eddie Howe at West Ham after Pellegrini goes, whether it's now or in a few years. I think Eddie Howe has got a top job in him somewhere. That's no disrespect to Bournemouth either, because Bournemouth are a good club, but Eddie Howe is.
Why they've kept hold of him as long as they have, especially when Wenger was leaving and that, because he was very much touted for that, weren't he?
Yeah, I think he did leave once, didn't he? He went to Burnley and it didn't work out for him, but he went back to Bournemouth, and I just think that he's comfortable at Bournemouth. He probably, like what Kirbishley was at Charlton, he probably runs the whole club. He has a say in everything that goes on there. It's his project. So, but I think if a big team does come in for him, but the thing is, when I say big team, I'm not saying that we're bigger than the Bournemouth, but a team like Everton, West Ham, that level, I don't think a team like Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, City are going to come in for an Eddie Howe, and that's a shame because he is a great coach.
Yeah, maybe there should be some more chances for them sort of managers. You know what I mean? Because he is a good manager, but we do see that some people just get comfortable at a club. I remember, I'm going back some time now, but you remember Danny Wilson? Got Barnes back to the Premier League, was like well touted for top jobs. Ended up going to Sheffield Wednesday, who were massive at the time. You know what I mean? Long standing Premier League, won titles and all that. And it didn't quite work out for him. James Fiedler, #Agent Lampard.
Yeah, I think his name's going to get linked with us in it. And obviously Scott Parker as well, who've done a great... Did you see the win over Millwall last night?
4-0, mate, yeah.
4-0. Did you see the stats?
It was saying like 90% possession, wasn't it, or something like that?
They made 900 and something passes. Millwall only made 100 and something. I think it's the record for the most stats in a game going towards more one side. It was unbelievable. I put a tweet out saying Agent Parker.
Abu Alia comes up with a great point. Key point, lads, to get Radoja, we need to lose a foreign player first. So that could link to Ogbonna. Maybe it's just transfer nonsense, to be honest. I haven't spoke to the inner nose or anything like that to know if it's true. Anything. Richard B says Danny Wilson sounds like a future West Ham manager. I hope not, mate. He's about 70 now, probably.
Yeah. He's getting on a bit.
Amir Mandalia. I'm happy with Pellegrini. Some of the football under him in last season was the best I saw. Our home record was also good last season. That's a good point. He done a good job considering the injuries and the Arnie situation. Yeah, I agree with that, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Pellegrini had a good season last year. Seeming that we started off with 4 losses, a lot of injuries, as you say, the Arnie situation. I think he's done well, and look, he's got our backing. So maybe we should start. Maybe not that he watches this show, but maybe we should start respecting him a bit more and just maybe keep the Pellegrini out chat and just concentrate on what he's doing at the club now.
Liam Bishop says Masuaku weren't that bad the weekend. Why are people giving him stick? I'm not sure, mate. I thought he played well as well.
I thought he did, mate. I see a lot of stick for him on social media. I couldn't really
one or two small mistakes. It
wouldn't be Masuaku without a couple of mistakes.
No, but I thought he was a lot more solid. I thought he was a lot more active than Cresswell. Lot more movement in him. Tried to dribble himself out of trouble a couple of times, which didn't quite work out. But I thought he was okay.
I think we're more active than Cresswell sometimes.
Armo says, Ryan, what happened to your top 5 West Ham videos?
They got boring, didn't they? They didn't really take off them. It was just an idea we had at the time, but yeah, a lot of work went into them. But
maybe we'll bring it back one day when
maybe when we got a bit more subscribers and that, I might do a top 3 or something.
Hello, Nicky and Ryan. I'm realistic on all West Ham games, but I always believe in a win. So let's get behind the boys on Saturday. And sacking Pellegrini now is nuts. And have a nice trip to Mexico, Nicky. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that. James Fawn says, when Graham's getting his eyebrow shaved?
Oh, he never done that, did he?
Well, I don't think he was meant to, was he?
I think we'll just do it anyway. Next time we're all on post-match pint together, we'll do it to him.
Hammerfan21 says, do you think more English managers should be given a chance?
I think they are. You look at, like, lately, you've got Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, Scott Parker now.
Stevie Bruce.
It's Steve Bruce. You've got Eddie Howe. There's some good English talent out there. I think sometimes you have to look lower leagues as well. There's some good managers there. But yeah, I'm hoping that one of the top elite clubs breaks that trend and gives a young English manager a chance. I know Chelsea have, but I think they've been forced to go with Frank Lampard. I don't think Frank Lampard would have been their choice if they would have had money to spend. That's just my opinion.
If it had been a standard everyday player for Chelsea rather than an absolute, like, one of the top ever in there, he would never have been given a chance. No chance on God's green earth would have been given a chance. It's his legend status.
Put it this way, if they would have had 200, 300 million to spend this summer, big name managers would have been chucking their name at that job. But they can't spend, so no one wants to do it.
Evening, guys. What do you think that is what we start games so slow? If you look at teams like Brighton, Norwich and Bournemouth, how they come out the tracks very quickly and attack teams. Yeah, I do find that a bit odd with us, the way we start sometimes. I think we do come out the tracks very slow. It's something that we need to improve on, because, like, some teams, like... Can
you hear that?
Yeah, what is it?
It's a ship going past.
Is it?
Yeah.
To Mike the Pirate.
What is that? Fucking hell, size of it. It's like the Titanic.
Sometimes when you look at these smaller teams, they come out at the bigger teams and they've scored 2 goals before the bigger teams even realise what's happening. You know what I mean? And then it takes the bigger teams the whole game to get back into it. It is a point, like, I do think we go out with a whimper sometimes, like when it comes to attacking and things like that. I don't think we're, like, if you look at the Brighton game, the way we was moving the ball, it was so slow at times and the basic stuff weren't being done. We haven't been good at that for a good few years, Ryan.
I think you find that when we play the bigger teams, mostly at home as well, we seem to come out and we're all up for it. The crowd's up for it. I think sometimes we show a lack of respect to some teams and we think that we're just going to walk on that pitch and we're going to win. But these teams, they get off to a better start than we do. And as someone said there, we usually find ourselves 1-0 down, chasing the game already.
Hi, lads. Would you rather see Zabaleta play over Fredericks on Saturday? Also, thoughts on Rice so far this season? I thought he played very well Saturday, Rice. If I'm honest, I thought he was one of our better players. Hasn't started the season in scintillating form, but, you know, people do forget he's only like 20-year-old. You know what I mean? And, like, he's still got a lot to learn, Declan Rice. Like, I've seen a lot of people saying about Declan should be the captain, you know, in the absence of Mark Noble. I think that's too much responsibility to put on a young man's shoulders. You know, so young. Let him develop first. You know what I mean? I think that's a little bit of what happened to Joe Cole at some point. I think he had to stop his sort of like creative development with West Ham because he had to take responsibility because he got made the captain so young. The season when we went down 2003, and then he went to join Jose Mourinho in at Chelsea and he just knocked it out the bollocks out of him. I think that's why Joe Cole never really developed the way he could have developed. You know, he could have, you know, he was touted as being the next Gascoigne and he had all the talent in the world and he was doing it at West Ham for a little while. Then, you know, the chips were down and he was the one that we turned to sort of get us going again. And if you remember that season, Ryan, he'd done a lot of defensive work, Joe Cole. And that's not where you want Joe Cole to be doing, really.
No, definitely not. Yeah, I remember that season. And as you said, it knocked the bollocks out of him. He wasn't the same player that season because he had to do a lot of graft, which players like Joe Cole, you don't want them to do. You want them to be doing what they're good at. And that's taking people on.
Yeah, and I never thought he recovered from that, really. Not fully, anyway.
But as for Zabaleta over Fredericks, no, I'd stick with Fredericks.
I see an article today about Zabaleta said he's finding it so hard at West Ham.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it's his last season in English football, and he probably wants to play as much as he can. I mean, he'd get a run out on Tuesday night against Newport. I think that's what he's always going to be cover for Fredericks. And I think he sort of knew that when he signed the new 1-year extension to his contract.
£75,000 a week, apparently.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a
second choice.
Second choice right back, yeah. But and as for just quickly, Declan Rice as well. I mean, yeah, he hasn't started the season off great, but as you said, he's only young. I think once he gets Noble back alongside him, you'll see the best of Declan Rice again. And he's definitely a future captain for West Ham, 100%.
Why do we only start playing once we conceded? Your guess is as good as mine, mate. To be honest,
it's true. We've always been like that.
I can't think of a reason, really. I can't think of one. Jason Mortimer needs to start Antonio Saturday. Lanzini and Fornells to similar. Do you think they've got Fornells to replace Lanzini? I think that Fornells might be dropped this weekend, to be honest, with everyone back. Yeah,
I think maybe he might drop Fornells for Anderson. I haven't been impressed with Fornells as yet. I mean, he's done a couple of good things like little 1-2s and that, but it's not his fault. I'm not slating him before people jump on me. I'm not slating him. He's got the potential to be a great player. But at the moment,
you're allowed to say you're not impressed with him, mate. I don't
want people to jump on me saying he's only played 2 fucking games. And I know he's only played 2 games, but I haven't been that. Even in pre-season when he played, I wasn't that impressed with him. But he's a good player, and once he gets settled, got so much confidence in him that he's going to be up there with like the Lanzinis and the Andersons.
FJ Football, what is your ambition? My ambition is to eat more money than I've spent on my holiday, on my all-inclusive holiday. If I eat more food than I've spent, then I've done well.
Mine's to earn enough money to buy a ship that big.
No, do you think, considering Pelier's on a lot of money, about 10 million a year, we should be doing a lot better than we have in his reign? I think you've still got to give him time, mate. Like, it's a big rebuilding process. We was in tatters when he came along, and he's got to be given a year or two to just sort of rebuild the team and get what he wants in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nicky, how about for your West Ham punishment? You should eat 10 tacos in a row in Mexico. Have a good trip. I'll eat 10 tacos in a row anyway,
that
mate.
ain't a punishment.
That's what happened last weekend, I think.
That's a starter.
Okay, I'll get on that. I'll tell you what. I'll line up 20 tacos. The amount of times we've played the first half decent, been shocking second half, or vice versa. Why can't we do both half?
Yeah, if that was the case, we'll be probably
We're in the league.
champions.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it is true. It's not only this season or last season. It's been like it for a long time at West Ham. Probably since I've been supporting West Ham, we always find ourselves either slow starters or we start well and then we can't see out the second half. So it's just one of them things. Being a West Ham fan, that's why we come back. We love it. We love the entertainment.
Trevor P says, "Hey Nicky and Ryan, I'm sporting the latest West Ham fan TV shirt. Brilliant design. Come on, you irons." Thank you very much, Trevor. We really appreciate it, mate.
I want to know what one it is, Trevor.
Yeah, so do I, Trev. Yeah, what one is it?
What one is it?
Yeah, comment in the comment section. I've got one on today. I've got the round irons one.
Mine's in the post.
Yeah, Ryan's didn't fit him. He's the only one. You've all got them before Ryan. Put out on a Christmas card. Victor Fenn, I would start Ben Johnson over Zabaleta.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, when you think of it like that, I mean, I forgot about Ben Johnson then. Zabaleta, I'll still say Zabaleta's second choice, but it'd be interesting on Tuesday when we play Newport whether Ben Johnson starts at left back and Zabaleta starts at right back.
As a Watford fan, did I read the last one I clicked? I don't know. Joe Findley Badder says, Watford fan here. Seems we're both having problems at the back. We haven't kept a clean sheet in 16 games. Deeney, the core, and Pereira all injured. Hope for a Domingos Quina masterclass. I forgot about him, to be honest. Domingos Quina. Yeah, he'll come back to bite us on the arse, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's good. Look, it's got the makings to be a good game. Both
it might
teams
be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, both of the teams are leaking goals, and both of the teams need 3 points. They need the first win of the season, so it could be a thriller. But now I say that it'd be 0-0 last on match of the day.
Ken Hammers, Nicky, do you think Ryan, do you think the full squad will be out for Newport Tuesday or close to it?
I think it'd be a mix. I think you'll get a couple of first team regulars in there, but I'm looking forward to seeing players like.
You might see, to be honest with you, because they've had a week off, you might see Hilaire, you might see Anderson, you might see Noble.
Yeah, you'll probably see Roberto going goal. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing someone like Connor Coventry or Nathan Holland get a chance because they've been doing really well for the under-23s. Probably get a Jetty might even get a start.
This is a good one. Because I was looking at this today and thought this might have been a good subject to start with, and I forgot all about it. What do you guys think about Harry Redknapp's comment saying he would have won the league if he'd have kept Lampard, Cole, Carrick, Rio, etc.?
Yeah, I see them comments. Yeah, look, you never know, do you? I mean, we was a selling club back then. As soon as we had the opportunity to sell Rio, we sold him, and then the others slowly followed. I know. Fair play to Michael Carrick. He stayed with us for a season after we got relegated. And if we probably would have come up that season, he would have probably stayed with us. Probably not for long, but he would have been there. But yeah, I mean, we've produced
Who did we have at the time? We had Cole. This is all coming through at the same time. Cole, Carrick, Ferdinand, Lampard,
Defoe, Ben Johnson.
So that's 6. I think he's talking bollocks, to be honest, Redknapp. Yeah, of course, they all went on to have better careers, but it's well documented at West Ham at the time that it was like a fucking circus there, Ryan. Right? It wasn't a very professional club. The way they trained, the way the way it was run, it was more like jobs for the boys rather than a professional club. Always scrimping and scraping for players. I don't he said he was comparing us to the class of '92. Now the difference between West Ham, say the class of 2000 and the class of '92. And he's saying like between the two of them, it would be a good game. It was the players that they surrounded them with. You know what I mean?
I was just about to say that Lampard wasn't that great when he was at West Ham, but when he went to Chelsea and they started spending money and he got world-class players around him, he turned into a world-class player himself. So that's the thing. But you look at it, we had the likes of Trevor Sinclair there, Di Canio, We could have been. I don't think we'd have won the league, but we could have been a team that would have challenged for the top four back then, because the top four back then weren't like it was now.
Yeah. No,
In fact, I don't even
100%.
think there was a top four back then. Was there? It was a top
No, I
two.
don't. I think it was a top two, yeah, but I don't think we'd have challenged. Like when you look at like the class of '92, they surrounded their players with the likes of like Brian Robson, Mark Hughes, who was a very good player, Eric Cantona, Roy Keane. You know what I mean? Like Ince, like really world-class players. And that's what we didn't really... Yeah, we had the likes of Sinclair and DeCanio, but like around that, nothing really like significant. Do you know what I mean? Like signing like 1 million, like Rigobert Song and things like that. Do you know what I mean? It's never going to work out.
Thing is, people forget though, we did finish 5th with that squad.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we did finish 5th. Yeah, but I don't think we would have ever won the league.
No.
It all comes down. I don't think, like, even with like the class of '92 with the Beckhams and the Nevilles and all that, it wasn't them that dragged them through the league. They was very good players, but it was like Roy Keane and stuff. And we didn't have anyone like Roy Keane really. Yeah, I think he's talking absolute nonsense, to be honest with you. God, loads of comments are coming in since we started to talk about that.
Someone said, "Don't mention Ince." Sorry.
Don't mention Ince. Yeah. I believe that if the lads don't play too risky and have fun on the pitch, they can do amazing. And only one thing left to say: come on, you on. It's like saying goodbye every time I read that, mate. Don't go. Silver Hammer, we are always going to be a mid-table team at best until we can get our possession stats up as well as our passing stats. Newport will probably outplay us for a few minutes due to our poor possession. Yeah,
look, Newport's going to be a tough game. This is probably going to be their biggest game of the season. You know, what are they in League One? They're in League One, aren't they? So
I think they're League Two, maybe.
Well, yeah, League One, League Two. I mean, it's going to be sold out at their ground. So it's going to be a tough night. These sort of games ain't easy, as it showed against Wimbledon in a cup.
Trevor P says, going back to the design, it's the black shirt with a design you're supporting. He says, got the round hammers as well.
Nice.
Yeah, nice one, mate. Post a picture on social media for us. Robert Zaba, Ogbonna, Cardoso, Cresswell, Carlos, Coventry, Sanchez, Holland. Holland, that's a shout. I forgot about him. Snodgrass, Yarmolenko, Ayeti for Newport. I don't think it'll be that much of a change, to be honest. I think there'll be a couple of first teamers in there. I don't think he's gonna sort of risk that after what happened last year at Wimbledon. Yeah, I think we're going to give it 8 more minutes, Ryan, and then we're going to call it a day, I think, because I'm running out of subjects. Unless you think
it's been a slow week, isn't it, at West Ham?
Yeah,
really?
mostly, yeah, because, you know, not much is going on and, you know, the transfer window's over and all of that sort of thing. And my dinner's sitting on the table, it's staring at me. So I want to go and eat it. Nothing wrong with being a mid-level club when you're fun to watch, not at all, lads. No, I think that's one of the few things that I would say that I've complained about over the last few years is the lack of football. Do you know what I mean? The lack of football that we play from under Sam, really. Then we had the Bilic first season, and then we moved into the stadium, and we seem to struggle since then. But we are starting to play some nice football now. Dave Bromley, watching West Ham Fan TV live each week before I go to my night shift makes it bearable. Thanks, and keep up the good work, Cohen Wines. Thanks, Dave. I really appreciate that, mate.
One thing we ain't mentioned, we mentioned about like Lanzini's contract to that, but the news come out today that Hernandez has got an extension in his contract that we can trigger. So that'll be an interesting one. If he has a decent season at West Ham, personally, I think he's going to go, but you never know. And then also another thing as well is, I'll go on, talk about Hernandez first.
I don't think he's worth the money.
I don't think he's worth it as well. I mean, he'll probably leave the club. He'll run down his year contract with us and then he'll go. But I've got no complaints with him. I think he's never been really one to moan, has he? Since he's come into the club, he's been a bench player, isn't he, really? He's never had that run in the first team. And when he comes on, sometimes he frustrates you. But you know when he's on the pitch, if he gets a chance, he's going to score.
Well, that's the thing about him is I don't think that he's ever had a fair run in the team. I think he was brought a bit out of context to the way we played, a bit out of character to the way we play. Probably about 2 years too late. If we'd have had him during that bowling season, I think he would have done very well.
Yeah, if you had a Dimitri Payet putting balls through to Hernandez would be a 20-goal a season striker without a doubt.
But I don't think we've ever played the way that suits him, and I think that's what you've got to have for a player like Chicharito. That's the thing about like top managers as well; they know how to use their players. If they've got a plan, you know, like the likes of like Alex Ferguson and the Real Madrid manager, you know, that they had him in their mind. You know what I mean? They knew that he was going to maybe not, you know, as he was a famous super sub for Man United, a bit like Solskjaer, but they knew that if they reverted to a certain game plan, then he was the man to fit that. And I don't think we've ever sort of reverted to that game plan, sadly.
But look, what if he leaves the club, you know, at the end of the summer? I wish him well. Like I said, he's never really moaned, does he? You know, I don't think I'd moan on 150 grand a week, whatever he's on.
Someone just said to me, have you packed yet, Nicky? I'll go away in 5 weeks. I've done my clothes 2 weeks ago. No, I haven't, mate. And I go at 4 o'clock in the morning. No, well, at 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. So I better get my
you got all your T-shirts sorted. You got about 20 of the new West Ham ones, fan TV ones.
Yeah, I'm taking all them with me. A few social media pictures.
Just quickly as well, before we go, Jordan Hugill scores again.
Again, yeah. 3-1. They lost 3-1. But
yeah, Dear Garner's doing well as well on loan at West Brom. I'll tell you what, I think he's going to come back a good player next season. He's a good player now, but I think the Championship's going to knock it into him a bit.
Next level, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if West Brom get promoted next season, if they want to maybe take him, buy him, or whether we're loaning him back there again.
Dean Garner?
Yeah.
No, we won't sell him.
No, I don't think we will.
I think he's something that we lack. You know, when I looked on there Saturday, we're lacking pace. And if there's something that we lack in the team at the minute, it's fucking pace. And he's got fucking oodles of it. Probably the only one. If he ain't got much else, he's got oodles of pace. Good T-shirts in your store, lad. Good show again, boys. Cheers for the content. Enjoy your holiday, Nicky. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that. I assume that's Gio. Matt Powell says, bit controversial this. If Hugo scores 20 goals or more, do you think you might get a second chance in the first team?
Honestly, I think that's his career over at West Ham. I just don't think he was ever going to get a chance. I don't want to say it's a shame because I've never seen him really have a chance. So I don't want to slate him, but I think, no disrespect to him, I think the Championship is his level.
I think I'll be honest with you, mate. When I think about when we bought him, I think we bought him in case we got relegated.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
I agree. They probably got to January and thought, look, it looks like we're going to go down, which it did at that time. And yeah, we give Preston are the winners out of this, and his agent.
Staminal says Hugo won't score 20 goals. QPR crap. Relegation battle for them despite his recent goals. Morgan Evans, boys, you went to Brighton away and said the doorman was shocking. Just to let you know, I'm a doorman. I want to never act that way. Complain to the company next time. Keep up the good work, boys. Thanks, Morgan. Yeah, they was shocking, mate, to be honest with you. Very discriminatory, but it is what it is at the end of the day. It's the way football fans are treated, right? I was at under 23 game the other night. Holland Pal, a cut above Holland, should be first team ASAP. I've heard a lot of people say that.
Especially Nathan Holland. His goal was unbelievable the other night. We've heard about him since we signed him from Everton. That he's a good player, and Jack Collinson spoke highly of him when we were speaking to him at the charity game. Right. I think he's going to be the next one to sort of break into that first team.
They find it hard. Right, we'll leave it there then, boys. Thank you so much for joining us on this live chat, West Ham Fan TV Live and Uncut. As always, a pleasure to see everyone. I'll be away for 2 weeks now, so Ryan's going to be back with fuck knows who. I don't know who.
I'll sort something out. You got to show me how to do it first. I'll come around tomorrow after work and you'll have to give me a little idiot's guide to it, but it can't be that hard.
No. There is a new T-shirt in our store, Ryan, today.
Yeah, I see that.
Mark Noble for president. Go and check out the store right now. The link is in the description down below. Randy, I've missed it. I've gone it. I was going to answer a question there. Noah says Hammers chat collab. Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. I might. Yeah, I'll speak to Gio if he wants to come on. He can, yeah.
Please have Scott replace Nicky. What, forever?
I'll get. Don't get me wrong. I'll get one of them lazy bastards on you. I'll get Scott on you or Dan. One of them. We'll have a laugh. Yeah, Graham. He'd be sitting in front of like a typewriter.
Yeah, so there is new t-shirt in the store. Go and check it out. It's the Mark Noble for President t-shirt. Very good design. Once again, go and check it out in the store. Link is in the description down below. Go and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and all the social media at West Ham Fan TV. You'll find us on everything. And yeah, we'll leave it there, Ryan. One thing left to say.
Come on, your irons.
Come on, your irons.
Good night, everyone.
How do I stop it?
Press the button.
I'm pressing it.